Hi guys, Jasmo here, and today I'm showing you my way of leveling Shadow. I've learned this from people doing speedruns and racing. This is just a very efficient way of leveling that will make you much faster no matter which build you're playing. I definitely recommend doing it this way. We're gonna do a fresh start in Delirium Soul still found, but we're gonna ignore the league mechanics so that it's applicable to no matter which league you're playing. Usually you wanna ignore the league mechanic early on. First thing I'm gonna do is just set up by turning off the tutorials, turning off pop-ups, setting my move command to my keyboard so that I can hold items and still move without dropping them. Then I set up everything exactly how I like it, the scroll where I like it, the flasks how I like it, and so on. And then I also need to find my filter. I made a specific filter for this, which is going to be available for download in the description. It's just like a leveling filter that will help you find the good early shit that you need, and you won't miss the necessary things. I switch my keys for everything that I need. For example, I want to have move only on left click, but I want to have right click empty so that when I pick up my first skill and I equip it, it's gonna go automatically to my right click, which is where I want this to be. We're just gonna kill Hillock, pick up everything, and then in the shop we're gonna look for mostly links. So you're looking for ones that are gonna be blue 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 or blue blue green or green green blue. And then you're looking for movement speed boots. So you can have like prepared ahead of time, or you don't need to go that hardcore. You can just do Control F and type NN, and that will automatically in the shop search for runner's boots, which will be the movement speed boots. So that's what we're looking for in the first shop. And then we're selling everything we don't need, you're gonna see, right? So we sell all of those items that we don't need. And then we're looking for ones. We happen to find blue, blue, green twice, so I'll just pick up two of those. That's gonna be perfectly fine. Stormblast mine, look for NN, which is the runner's boots, right? We don't find any. There are blue, blue, blue boots. I was like considering, do I want them? Okay, I'll get them. Maybe I won't find movement speed boots. Maybe I won't find blue, blue, blue. So it should be useful. It's always good to pick up these. Like at minimum, you want blue, green, blue, blue, and blue, right? That's at minimum that's you want, right? Blue, 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 green, and blue. That's the minimum setup that you will need, and you will find that every time. Like no matter what, you will be able to do that. Run through the coast and don't kill anything in the coast. It's completely unnecessary. You can see I was able to put my skills and equip the items while running. And I recommend trying to get used to doing that because that will save you a lot of time. Like being able to do stuff on the run is where you save most of the time. And it's not that hard once you like have figured out your keybinds, and once you figure out that you're supposed to do that. At first it's gonna feel really awkward and you're gonna like fumble and stumble and like maybe even die to some mobs hitting you because you don't react in time, but it's definitely worth learning. And I recommend if you want to save time and if you want to do Act 1 under 30 minutes, which is what I would aim for with this specific strategy, right? In Mudfloods, I also don't kill anything. I just kill only stuff that's on the way. If I want to go, like if I want to grab stuff from the Roa nest, but there are monsters on it that I know will block me, then I kill them. Like here, for example, I preload the mines, kill them. We get a transmute. That's great. Usually you're gonna get some drops. Like there is almost never gonna be a run where you get everything that you need, but you're gonna get most of the things that you need. So we got all the shells, and then we move here. And after this, after going into the Submerged Passage, we take the waypoint back to the coast and go to the island to do the Quicksilver quest. And we do want to do this in this order because we want to be like level 3 or have our skills leveled when we fight Hailrake to make that fight a little bit easier. And at the same time we're going to have the other quests done so that when we go back to time by logging out, we can pick up all of our skill gems, check the shop, do everything at the same time. Here I go back because there is a ramp in front of me. Usually when you see a ramp on the Tidal Island, that means probably go the other way, because it's gonna be very, very close on the other side. Sometimes it's just you end up going basically the same amount of time, but sometimes you get to save a lot of time by doing it that way. So all that matters is that our skills are level 2 basically, and then we just kill Hellrake. And again, we're gonna pick up everything we can and log out so that we get back to town without having to use the scroll. Scrolls early on, you only need one scroll early on. Like if you find 2 scrolls before Brutus, then you're pretty much set for everything you would ever need to do, you know. So we got one portal, and then if we get one before Brutus, that's gonna be great because we're gonna be able to like craft our wand just before him. So I was considering identifying it, and in hindsight I probably should have identified that, because you want to sell magic items unidentified and rare items, especially the big ones, identified early on, so that you get at least 1 transmute and at least 1 alteration. So this is what you're aiming for early on. I should have probably picked up that blue green helmet. It's not at all necessary, but I should have probably done it in case I need to replace my wands. Early on, I find the blue. I don't want to pick it up because I already got blue, even though I probably should have, but I want to use my scrolls on other things. Like I need to prioritize getting a Frost Bomb and Arcane Surge, and because I only have 1 Scroll of Wisdom, I decided to sell the Transmute because I'm very close to another, so easily I'm gonna have it, and I just wanna get everything that I need. So Frost Bomb, Arcane Surge, and then what is it? The trap support, right? That you also want is with Swift Assembly or whatever. The reason why I want to buy Arcane Surge early is because I want it to stay at level 1 so that it doesn't, or like at most level 2, so that I can proc it. I don't have to like de-level it or wait a long time, and it's gonna be very, very efficient early on if you pick it up at a very low level. So that's why I like prioritize that. Now we basically don't level the Arcane Surge, so we right click that and we keep it at low level, and it's gonna be linked to our blink. I leave a portal here. You want to leave a portal whenever you see the entrance to the Dweller of the Deep, or whenever you encounter this bridge that you're gonna see in a moment. But the closer to the entrance to that thing, the better, of course, right? But when you see the bridge, that's usually when you want to do it. So we link Onslaught here to Frost Bomb, and then we link Frost Blink to Arcane Surge, and then Orb of Storms as well. And then we have we are still missing blue, green, and green, and that would be our Stormblast Mine with Swift Assembly and with Lesser Poison. Right, I should have probably switched the Swift Assembly with Lesser Poison because the Swift Assembly would be probably better here. But we just try to switch everything on the run as much as we go and just continue running through Submerged Passage. And from this point on, when you leave the portal, probably not worth going that far back for that Wisdom Scroll, but I'm like trying to run it pretty slowly and killing a lot of things so that I get all of the items that I need and show you all of the things that you can do early on. Also feels bad, man, shrine at the end of the zone. So what was I saying? I'm trying to pick up a lot of currency so that I can craft everything. I'll show you the wand craft and what you want to do at each point. And that's it, yeah. We're going through this zone now. This is where you're gonna probably level a couple of times, and you're gonna go through it very quickly. And we go, oh yes, the portal. We're gonna go through that portal that we left when we get into prison, because at that point we're gonna be stronger. We're gonna be able to kill the Dweller of the Deep much faster. We're gonna have our Frost Blink. It's gonna be way, way, way easier, and it's just more time efficient to do it that way. And then we can log out afterwards, right? So we don't need to like go back and then continue through the cave, because you would do it that way anyway, but you go to the prison because the portal would be still up, but also you're gonna be much stronger. Then here we're gonna encounter Kuduku in a moment, and usually I learned that from Havoc, like when you need resources, kill Kuduku, kill like unique monsters, because they will give you a lot of magic items and a chance for rare items, and those will make sure that you pretty much have alteration orb no matter what. Like you can basically force the currency, you can force having an alteration and a transmute before fighting Brutus, and you'll see how important that is. So we get a wand that we cannot equip yet because we don't have enough intellect, but we have a skill point incoming that is actually gonna give us dex and int, so now we're gonna be able to equip it, and that's gonna be our Storm Blast Mine and Lesser Poison, as well as the Swift Assembly, right? So those are gonna be our links, and now we've got all of the links, right? Now the only thing we're missing is like the luxury of movement speed boots. I recommend also holding on to links that you need, especially if you have some of the links, like the boots that I have right now are blue. So if I found a blue wand, I probably should keep it. Like right now, as you can see, this is a blue wand. I'm probably gonna sell it, but it's good practice to keep it in case I actually get the movement speed boots and they happen to not have the links that I need. Now I couldn't replace them, right? Because I need the sockets and the links. So keeping that other wand, the blue, would allow me to be able to switch the boots freely, even if I get like some just cold resist or something, right? Because if you find here like an essence, I definitely recommend doing essences. It's very easy. You just preload the mines, and then you put your Orb of Storms and Frostbomb, open the essence, detonate the mines, and everything dies in one hit. So essences are great because you're able to like use it as a free alch on or either rings later on for the recipe, or for the boots, so that you have a chance to get the movement speed that way as well, right? That's what you want to prioritize, spending your currency on the boots, if anything, right? But the most important things are like the wand crafts, as well as your gems. You need to know which skill gems you get, how much do they cost. Like for example, in Act 1, the first levels of skill gems, they cost for the scrolls. You buy them for scrolls of wisdom, and then from this point on, basically you buy them for transmutes. In Act 2 you need alterations and so on. You need to know in each act which currency do you need to buy the gems, and which gems are you going to be actually buying. So you'll see that in this run we'll actually purchase also the mine support as well as arc, because that's what we're going to be doing later when our Frostbomb stops one-shotting packs. I'm leveling a bunch of stuff here because I'm going to be selling it for alteration. Ideally you want to identify the rare items and the big rare items and the big magic items, because that's going to give you the most shards. Yeah, I should have kept the wand here. So we're still missing the alteration shards. So I need like what, 8 alteration shards, I think, which I just need a couple of like 2 or 3 magic items, identify them, and then I have it. Another thing I'm missing is iron rings. Iron rings can be sold to the vendor with a skill gem that is either green, blue, or red to make a resistance ring. Green is gonna make lightning res, blue is gonna make sapphire rings for cold res, and red is gonna make ruby rings for the fire res. So in terms of the most damage for the wand craft, you want the lightning one, because you're also gonna be maybe going like with Orb of Storms and with Stormblast Mine, and then if we're going Arc and Ball Lightning, then lightning is naturally damage that we can additionally scale, so added lightning damage will be great. We get blue, green gloves here, which is great. So I still not sure if I'm gonna have an I don't have an alch here because we didn't happen to find magic items. That's just like a normal item, so I keep all of that, just get the skill. And basically I have a portal, so my goal is going to be try to kill as much as I can before I find Brutus, and try to get that alteration so that I can craft. And I do also need an iron ring, right? So if you have an iron ring, let me tell you about the wand recipe. That is like super important thing that we want to do before Brutus. Iron ring and the skill gem, as you know, as I just said, is equals the resist ring. So first we want to sell the Viper Strike that we still are holding on to with an iron ring. Iron ring costs 3 scrolls of wisdom if you do not find one. My filter highlights them like hell, so you will definitely not miss them. And if you have that, let's say, resistance ring that is normal quality with an alteration and with a magic wand, that will give you a level, like the first craft, level level 8 required to wear that wand, and it gives you like tier, I think 8 added lightning damage. It's massive, it doubles your damage. You have to do it for this build. Like don't even bother with like, even if you can do this later and it's not your league start and you can buy like the magic wands, life sprig, don't even bother with them. The craft is so much better. Just go with the craft. And then you can do one with a magic ring, which is level 14 required, and it's like a tier 7 I think roll. And then on level 20, so right before Val, I basically do, if I can, 2, but if I can't, then just 1 rare ring, preferably, you know, the lightning resist ring with alteration and with magic wand. That will give you like the tier 6 level 20 required added lightning damage, and that's a fuck ton of damage, and you're gonna enjoy leveling that way much more because it's just so much damage. So it seems like we are picking up a lot of scrolls of wisdom because we pick up the blacksmith stone and the armor scrap, and that helps you get the scrolls of wisdom very, very easily, which means we're gonna be able to afford our iron rings. With iron rings and the blue gems, we're gonna be able to get the sapphire rings so that we can fight Merivale very comfortably. And also for Brutus, you kind of want to be level 10. If you want to do like the maximum damage and deal with him very, very easily, level 10 is going to be where you want to be at. Like level 10 and one of the wands crafted, and you're just going to blast through Brutus like never before, you know? It's so easy when you get that. The time that I want to TP back to town is when I'm running through the like warden's quarters or whatever that zone is called. In the end, basically I use my quicksilvers. As you can see, I found 1 extra, which is great. That's a bonus. It's always nice when you can do that. We don't have the movement speed boots, but that makes up for it. So here, as you can see, I'm using my flasks, and then when I run out of flasks, then I'm gonna TP basically to refresh them and gain some time back for teleporting to town. So we TP to town, and now we're gonna do the craft. So we sell all of those, we got enough for alteration, and then we're looking, okay, I'm looking for the rings. I'm like, is there no iron ring? No, there is. Okay, that's great. We got an iron ring. That gives us a topaz ring. Don't sell the alteration. Sell these for scrolls. And then I'm basically looking at which wand is better base. That's what I want to craft on. It's actually already a magic wand. So that's great. I don't need to even make it, I don't even need to spend the transmute. And that gives you this magic wand with added lightning damage. It's so much damage because we do so many hits with the mines and with the OOS. Here I still want to check for movement speed boots potentially. So I want to check if there are any like links that I need, any boots. So unfortunately there are no movement speed boots here, but we've got good enough start. We got all the links we needed. We made the craft. So now Brutus is gonna be just a piece of cake. It's gonna be the easiest Brutus you've ever seen. We can use our movement skill. You want to make sure that your mine is on attack without moving only, and then move 1 step forward, start throwing, and then you move forward to him and then you detonate them. So that way you can preload a lot of damage on Brutus, and we basically just 2-shot this fool, you know? So easy. Make sure to pick up boots, like rare items and small items, just to pick up as many as you can, and then you log out because you're gonna get some new shit. You can sell all of that stuff. We get flame dash. We sell these gloves. Boots are always worth identifying for potential move speed. These gloves are pretty good, so we're gonna equip these gloves, and they have you know, colors that are usable by us. Now I also want to get my smoke mine, and then also there is we also probably want a blast chain mine, and then later we want to buy arc when we get to the next zone. So we also can take our time to get the offhand weapon. That's another reason I should have not sold the ones. I should have just kept them in an offhand, so that I can put skill gems to level with. Like if, for example, right now, like me, you wanna level a miner, you would put the like the blast chain mine, and you would put arc and offhand ones and just level them, and then switch later on, and they will be already good level for you to play with. But you don't want to switch that early, because at this point what I'm using is still better, like the Orb of Storms, the Storm Blast mine, and most importantly the Frost Bomb are still better, as long as Frost Bomb is one-shotting, and which is why we have like added flat damage to it. When it's one-shotting, giving you onslaught, it's better than mines because of the onslaught, right? You only want to switch when your Frost Bomb stops one-shotting, because you're picking up from the passive tree only like mine and life and travel nodes, so you will start losing like damage relative to the content you're running, because you're not picking up any more elemental or cold damage, and at that point you want to switch. So it's gonna be probably like in Act 2 or 3 that we're gonna switch to at first arc mines, and then maybe later ball lightning. But ball lightning, maybe even we wait a little bit longer. This point I want to go toward like the movement speed node on the passive tree, and then go through the big life, 3 big life nodes, and then go to like, what is it, clever construction or something that stops your mines from being damaged for like 5 seconds after you throw them. I kill these guys because I still want to farm some currency, so I kill like the unique mobs, because I definitely want some more transmutations and alterations. And we're doing like very good on levels. You don't really want to be too high level. If you're like 1 level below the zone, you're perfectly happy. You don't want to be over leveled, because that means you just most of the time wasted the time. But you basically make that up with killing less or more monsters. It's a weird layout, so we just pick up this waypoint and go back to try to find the actual cave that we want to go in. But it will be a waste of time not to pick up that waypoint, because we can just simply use the waypoints to move around now. So it's gonna be somewhere to the left here. I'm using now Smoke Mine and Flame Dash. That's what you want to use. You can figure out which hotkeys work for you. Like, I went through so many iterations of hotkeys and figured out how to bind the 5 skills that I'm using now, so that I can do it comfortably, because it's really a lot to coordinate. But if you can use all 5 of the skills that I'm using right now, it's gonna speed you up so much. It's really important to learn how to use all of those skills, because you gain so much speed by being able to like efficiently Smoke Mine, Flame Dash, and do the damage, kill the mobs while running, and then Smoke Mine, Flame Dash again. This the ship graveyard cave zone is full of dead ends. Usually you want to try to go like left, right, left, right, left, right. You don't want to go too much into one direction. We kill this guy because we have insane damage right now, so it takes a second, and we are able to pick up some items for transmutes and stuff like that. And probably shouldn't have sold this stuff at this point, but I'm able to check the shop again because I'm still looking for movement speed boots, so that's why I'm here. The more you look for them, the more chance you have to find them. And every time you level, the shop resets, right? Every time you level up, the shop resets. On Fairgraves, you want to drop both of your skills that are not mines and just keep stacking mines, and when Fairgrave appears, you just detonate the mines and he gets one shot like this, and that's it. Like, if there was if he had like 5 times as much health, he would also die pretty much instantly. So now we can pick up just a blue gem, no matter which one. Just pick up a blue gem, and now you have 2 blue gems, and also you need 2 iron rings. We also buy arc. So right now I realize, okay, I have 2 blue gems, and I can actually do the. I guess I already used the waypoint, but I'm now realizing it. I'm like, wait a minute, I'm not gonna be like teleporting like this. I'm going straight to Merivale, so why not just pick up all the cold res that I need now, right? So I look for the rings. There are 2 iron rings, so I have enough scrolls of wisdom. I can just buy them, and then we sell them with the blue gems that we have, the Frost Blink from before and a blue gem from this quest now, because she doesn't give us arc. And that's how we get 2 sapphire rings. So even if you don't drop them, even if you don't buy them from the vendor, like you can pick up iron rings and do it that way, right? Very, very easy way to get cold res. Now we have like, what is it, 60 something, 63 cold res, I think, because I have it on another piece of gear, and that's plenty enough. 2 sapphire rings is definitely enough for this fight, and it's gonna be a pretty easy fight as well. Cold res helps so much for this. And that's basically Act 1. Act 2, I probably edit it and make it a bit shorter because there is less information, but even with like unedited run, there is just simply not enough time to talk about everything, because there is so much that you can do, like so many optimizations. If I went over something like too quickly, you can just pause the video, replay it, and basically catch up to what we're doing at that moment. But I'm not going too fast because I'm not a speedrunner, I'm not a racer, I'm not that fast. I just learned how to do this efficiently, and I think anyone can learn how to do this efficiently and do the Act 1 like under 30 minutes. It's not that difficult. This is not like 15-minute Merivale runs like people are doing. So yeah, just put the skill point there, some extra res, I think, and fight the Merivale, and that's gonna be it. So after Act 1, you should basically have 1 Wandcraft. You should be around level 12 or 13. You should have blue, 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 and blue, blue, green, and then either blue, green, or blue, green, green in terms of the links. And you should have solid cold res, and then maybe a couple of transmutes or iron rings, something like that, so that you'll be able to gear yourself up in the next act, and you'll get a bunch of loot from Merivale as well. So that's it, guys. Very quick Merivale kill. Hopefully you can learn something from that. I recommend doing this no matter which build you play. You can transition afterwards. I'll also probably make a video about transitioning to other builds. Thank you guys for watching, and see you next time.